Christopher Robin, what exactly is doing nothing?
Well, I'm told it means going along, listening to all the things you can't hear, and not bothering. You can't hear. No matter what I do, you should know. No matter what I do, no matter what I do, you should know. No matter what I do, every song, wherever you ever, every song, and you will always answer. Every song.
Oh. This is a kid's song. So you can't shrink the screen. Man, I hate YouTube sometimes. Oh, this one too?
It begins.
Holy shit.
Look at this. You're not gonna find another girl like her in a million years.
It's all so
Here, I'm gonna play a song of Pogo's I really like. This is a favorite. I'm totally prepared this morning. Okay. We'll see, we will see how this goes. I know that it's not fixed. And I know it's not fixed, because they told me it's not fixed. But I just felt like it anyway. Oh, goodness. I can't get over, by the way, the evil look. Some people have told me that they're actually terrified of the model. I put on a hat to hopefully make it slightly less terrifying for you guys. But I imagine for some of you, that doesn't matter. Hey, I'm going to zoom in just because I feel like it. Oh, you know, I should probably move myself so that I can actually see your chats as well. Where is my, where is it? Right there. I'm going to slide you back over to the side. It's running well. I don't expect that it will forever. I've got, okay. Sorry. This model is a little different from the last one. The last one kind of stayed in place. This one moves with me as I get further and closer to the camera, which is funny. Does it honk? The hat? No. The Clussy is here. Praise be. Oh, goodness. I jumped into this. I have some funny things that I can look at that I'm interested in. But otherwise, I kind of just wanted to talk a little bit. This was more or less a test. Is it chlorophobia? I'm gonna... Chlorophobia. That is not a word. According to Google. Google wants to correct it to claustrophobia. Hold on, let me look up clown phobia. It's coulrophobia. Coulrophobia. A fear of clowns. Thank you for the 5. Billions must be. I agree. I agree. Okay, so I'm gonna tell you, chat, a story. I will make this, I decided to tell you guys the struggles, but thankfully I haven't had to spend any money for, well, okay, that's not true. I bought a new router. I almost bought a new modem as well. But I don't believe that those would fix it. We did replace my modem, the second guy that came out. But I spent money on a new router, but beyond all that, I have not spent money on this thing getting fixed. There is the buffer. Yeah, like if there's a buffer, until they actually send the real people out, there's nothing I can do. But you know, it is whatever. Is what it is. Is what it is. Internet L. I agree. So let me explain kind of what's going on here, because after having 3 technicians, and I'm about to have 3 ISP engineers, not just technicians, not the little guys that come out little. There is the regular technicians, and then there's the engineers that come in the big trucks. They call them bucket trucks. So I would sit back, but that would zoom me in a little bit too much. Absolutely love the new model. Thank you. I have Xfinity. I'm not saying who I have. I may have accidentally said it before, but I'm not going to say who I have. It's not Xfinity, though. I'll say that much. But I'll explain, because here's the thing. It's not the internet that is at fault. I mean, it is the internet, but it is not them at fault. It is just, is the wire. I'll explain. So, This is an issue that I started noticing a couple months ago after I moved in. And I thought it was just like an intermittent issue that kind of would pass. And it slowly started getting worse as time went on. And I didn't decide to call anybody until after the fire, when it was unbearable for me to stream. The Spectrum. Oh, did I say it was Spectrum? There we go. Yeah, it's Spectrum. If I already said it, there's no big deal. There's no biggie. Internet goes out for a bit, but it isn't too long. Yeah, yeah. But what would happen is the internet would drop down to nothing. And I have asked like every technician, and they're pretty sure they know what the cause is. Here, I'm gonna see if I can pull up a tab. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna see if I can find something to explain it to you guys. Let's see. All right, I'm just gonna. I'm not. I tried. I couldn't find anything. We'll just explain it. We'll just explain it. So, the way that the internet works is, one, it's a bunch of tubes. Follow that meme. But the tubes come from the internet service provider, and I don't know how, where they come from specifically. They come from specific places. That doesn't matter. But they come to your building, and if you are in a house, it just goes directly into your house. If you're in an apartment complex like me, they have to split that wire for everybody that lives there. And I imagine there's not one for my building, because there's multiple apartments in my... I'm not going to specify the number, but there's multiple different apartments and multiple different floors. But with the amount... I imagine there's multiple. Anyway, they go into a central box, and that box is what the internet service provider has hooked up so they can turn on and off your internet. And typically, the way that they quote unquote turn it off is they have somebody come out and unscrew a cable. And if you're not a knowledgeable or savvy person, you wouldn't know that. But basically, if they come to your building and unscrew that cable from the box, you can't get internet. But if you screw it back in, and I don't recommend this because that's probably illegal, but that's how the internet works. And once the internet cable goes in, the cables go through your building, into your wall, and out a little coax port. And the coax is what plugs into the modem. And the modem is what translates the coax cable into your Ethernet, which creates the internet. Am I using Comcast? No. And so for a while, I was convinced that it was potentially maybe throttling, because it was so little and it only seemed to happen when I was streaming, that I was like, okay, maybe this is just throttling. As long as it doesn't happen too often, you know, it's not that big of a deal. And then it would go away for periods of time, and I would forget about it. And then it would come back, and I'm like, fuck, maybe it's the beginning of the month. Maybe it'll fix itself after I pay my bill, you know, whatever. And I think that for a while, and then the fire happens. For those that don't know, there was a fire that happened a couple weeks ago in my building. Thankfully, nobody got hurt. Nobody died. And the only damage, as far as... I didn't ask for very big specifics. However, I can infer based on the all of the... all of the appliances that came out of the kitchen, that the only thing that was really damaged was the kitchen and the appliances that were next to the stove, because it was a stove fire. And so after that happened, my internet issues jumped up to 11, and I was having issues. And I was like, okay, this can't just be Spectrum throttling me or whatever. And so I called and said, hey, I need this to be fixed. I need you to send somebody out. And they sent somebody out. First guy comes out. Was it an electrical fire? No, it was a stove fire. Anyway, first guy comes out. And he takes a look, and he's like, oh, I already see the issue. Your up and downstream is too high. For those that don't know, Very, very easy to, I guess, misunderstand. But if your up and downstream is too high, that's not a good thing. I was under the impression that, big number is always good. But what I was told was if your up and downstream is too high, it can basically overload the system with information and keep you from connecting to the internet because there's just too much. Now, if you're a numbers guy or you know how all this stuff works, you'll probably correct me in the comments. But basically, your downstream needs to be something like, and I don't know the actual terms and words, but they told me that like your downstream is supposed to be 7 to 12, and your upstream is supposed to be like no more than 30. And that's not Mbps. That's just like there's a specific other number for up and downstream that you can't really go past. Because if you go past it, you basically get a DDoS because there's too much going in and out, and it shorts it out and it kills the internet. And they're like, oh, this is an issue affecting your apartment. I fixed it. You should be good to go. And I was like, thank you. Great. Fantastic. Didn't fix it. We found it very quickly. We didn't fix it. So I had to get another guy to come out the next day. That was my debut stream too. So, yay, exciting. Too much clown for the Wi-Fi. If it happened when the clown came out, then we could say that was a conspiracy theory, but it didn't. Sadly. But anyway, so because it wasn't fixed, I was like, okay, it wasn't just a cable. Maybe it's the modem. Maybe the modem's having issues. And when I was talking to the agent on the internet, they told me that the modem is having issues. So they're going to send somebody out to fix the modem. Cool. Nice guy comes out. He knows a little bit more. And I'm not saying the last guy didn't, but I think all the people I've worked with have been pretty decently good. But the second guy comes out and he knows something a little different. So we get to talking and he replaces the modem. And I'm like, so I had this fire in the building from one of my neighbors. And he's like, oh, that could have melted the cables. And I was like, oh, that's fantastic. Hopefully not. Hopefully that's not the issue. Because what can happen, chat, is again, like I said, the fire didn't like spread. It from what I understand, this model terrifies me. That's what I've been told, that some people are kind of scared of it. But I hope it doesn't scare you too much. From what I was told, your internet cables are made to endure a lot. But if there is a fire, the fire can melt the cable. However, I don't believe the fire actively burnt the cable because the fire didn't escape the apartment. And the box is closer to my apartment than the one that was burning. So I don't believe it was that. But what can happen is the smoke from the fire can rise and get into the attic, which is where the coax is, and it can still melt the cable if it's hot enough. Now, I don't know exactly how hot the smoke was. Like, I do believe that the fire was put out before the fire department got here, so I don't know how bad it was. But there was always that possibility. And so when I was talking to the second technician, he's like, I think we need to check that out, but I can't go on your roof without permission from the building. So he set up an appointment for today, and the next guy, or him, he said he wasn't sure who, but the next guy would get the note saying that there's potential damage to the cable in the building. So that brings us to today. The third guy comes. And he's early, which is very nice. And he's like, well, since I'm early, I'm going to go check everybody's connection and check everybody's stuff. And it turns out I'm not the only one that's having this issue. Everybody's apartment is having issues with their internet. However, and I kind of figured this, I think I'm the only one that actually notices it. And I think the only reason I notice it is because I require a constant, uninterrupted upstream to work. Now, I have been able to replicate this issue on all of my devices. I've tried this on I've tried streaming on both of my computers. I have tested this on my laptop. I've tested this on my phone. I've tested this on my Steam Deck. I have been able to replicate this issue on every electrical device of mine that connects to the internet. Okay. And so I know that it's not a computer issue. And so the guy is like, yeah, if everybody's having issues, then it could be a box issue. And I tell him about the fire, and he's like, it could be the fire, but I don't think it is. And then he goes into talking to me about how if it is a fire related issue, he would be able to see it, and the engineers would be able to see it, which is going to come out either today or tomorrow, but other people would be able to see it. But he's like, it's not, he doesn't believe it's a fire. He says it's a possibility, and he couldn't unfortunately get to the roof because the maintenance people don't even know how to get to the roof or into the thing, because I guess only the supervisor knows that, but they don't think it's that. So he didn't actually go into the roof. But he is pretty confident that the issue has something to do with the box. And something to do with the box. Because what he told me, remember that issue when I told you where the upstream and downstream can't be too high? He told me that that issue has not been fixed and that everybody is having dangerously high up and downstream, and it's affecting everybody. And what he told me is typically there is one person that has that happening. There's one problem child typically when this happens, because when one person's up and downstream is that bad, everybody feels it. Or if there's an issue with somebody's up or downstream, everybody feels it in this kind of issue. So somebody's apartment, now it could be mine. It could be mine. He doesn't think it's mine, but somebody's apartment is having issues. Unfortunately, he could not diagnose it or find it because, from what he told me, because of how many people are in my building, they would have to individually unplug and then replug every single connection. And he said that they don't want him to do that. They want engineers to come in with tools and actually like break in and do something. So he called in the engineers. They work for Spectrum too. They come in, like I said, they come in the bucket trucks. They come in the big vehicles. They go around actually like fixing the internet on big buildings and shit. So what's going to happen now? This could happen today, or I would be very happy if it happens tomorrow, because if it happens tomorrow, great. I am probably not going to get. I'm probably not going to stream tomorrow. By the way, maybe we'll see. If they come out and fix it tonight or tomorrow, definitely going to test some tomorrow. But I am going to operate on the idea that I may not be able to stream tomorrow while this is getting worked on. Can't get used to the new model. Can't get used to the model, but it looks good. Thank you. Like I said, I will use the old one. I'm probably going to use the old one for videos. Okay. But it's this one is the new me. I am still having the rigger work on a toggle to peel back the hair so that the hair is not in the way. But yeah, for the most part, the third in 5 days, the third technician is pretty solid in thinking that the issue has something to do with the box, because everybody's upstream and downstream is fucked up. But I'm the only one. I am the only one to apparently see this issue, because I require constant up and downstream. I have Spectrum. I get random dropouts that last a couple seconds. They only happen once a day. See, mine happen constantly. And it seems like it goes away and then it comes back in full force. Spectrum's, well, unfortunately, unless like I get Starlink, which is very expensive just to set up, I don't know if I would be able to switch to that. And Spectrum's like $150 a month. I'd be willing, definitely I'd be willing, but I would need a I definitely would need people to help out with that, and I'm not willing to ask for help with that right now. So Unfortunately, I can't. I mean, like, that's something that I'm gonna get eventually, probably. We'll see. But, like, I don't believe that it is the ISP itself. Because, I've done a lot of research. I've done a lot of looking and thinking. And everybody in the building is affected. So they have to send somebody out to fix it. If they come out and fix it, and I'm still having issues, and I have to get a fourth person out, we'll go from there. But, like, $150 a month? Okay, hold on, let me look. Maybe I could be very far off. Let's see. Oh, never mind. It's $120 a month for residential. Let's see. I'll show this off. So this is Starlink right here. So I want to go with the roam because roaming allows you to go around the world with it. This is what I would be getting. Now residential starts off at $120 a month plus the buying of the satellite itself. And I'm pretty sure if I put up a goal for just buying the satellite here, let me. Oh, I would definitely be able to get availability. I don't know how much the satellite itself is. Let's see. How much would a satellite itself be? Hold on. Don't want to dox myself here, so we're not going to do that. So hold on, I'm gonna type it in on another browser because I don't want to add my location to the browser that I use for streaming, because I have already cleaned off my address and all of that other personal shit off of my browser, and I don't want it to be included on this one, so I'm gonna use it on the browser that I do not care. There's a congestion charge in my area. Oh. Damn. Let's see. It would be... It's $471. It comes with the kit, why is there a congestion charge? Due to network congestion in the area, there's an additional one-time charge to purchase the Starlink. Okay, so it's a one-time charge. I see. It's a one-time charge. Thank God. Although it is free shipping and handling. That's nice. That's really, really nice. I would show this, but again, I don't want to dox myself because it's still showing my address here. So it costs almost $500. Plus, it would be $120 a month. Scam charge. Well, I do live in the middle of a city, so that's kind of fair. There is other things that I can buy for this, including a mount. Probably won't do that. The fuck does that mean? From what it says, it means that there is network congestion. That basically means there's so many people living here that they got to charge me more because I live in the middle of a city. Because more people around me use the internet. I think that's retarded, but you know, that's just me. Anyway, it would cost me nearly $500 to buy it, and then $120 a month to use it. I'm gonna go back to the Starlink website. Can you show me the plans? Learn more. You're not gonna show me the page that I previously used. Oh, you can try it for 30 days and get a refund if you don't like it. Wow, that's nice. Also, make sure your apartment allows satellites. I mean, I wouldn't imagine they wouldn't. I could just put it on my my deck, pull it inside when I need to go to work. There's the page. Okay. So yeah, once I buy the satellite, it would be 120 bucks a month. I don't know what Resident Light is. Here, let me... Resident Light service is more affordable. Let's see. With Resident Light, there are no data caps. Speed should range from 50 to 100 Mbps as compared to the 150 to 200 for a resident service plan. Oh, okay. So it's just 150 Mbps. I mean, okay. 150 is not bad. Once you get up to 100, excuse me. Once it's 50 to 100, you're pretty good for your downstream. It's the upstream that I care the most about. They don't mention what the upstream is here. I'm very curious what the upstream is. I'm curious. Data amounts. Let's see. My apartment has a deck? It does. I don't know where it is. I might have to look at it more later. Because the thing that really is important to me is up and downstream. If my upstream is not good enough, it needs to be at least 10 to 15 for me to stream. Which is why I pay extra at my apartment for what I do. Gonna need a paddle if you're worried about upstreaming so much. But yeah, that's where we're at, chat. If the internet doesn't fix, if it just randomly cuts out again in the future, then Starlink is the next option. But if that happens, I'll have to go to my apartment and say, you can't fix this. Or they can't fix the issue. I either need to be allowed to leave, or you need to reduce my rent so I can spend that on my own internet. Because my rent covers part of the internet as well. It's pretty stable so far. Don't bring it up. It could break at any minute. We're gonna hope and pray. We're gonna cross our arms and hope and pray. But that's where we're at right now. I have no idea when Spectrum is going to send out the actual other guys. He said that it could be as soon as today, within a couple hours, and it could be 2 to 3 days. I would hope that it happens today or tomorrow. If it happens tomorrow, absolutely fantastic. I'll be at work. I won't be able to do anything. So it's no big deal to me. Okay? No big deal whatsoever. But like they will come out within 24 hours, most likely, which is pretty good in my personal opinion. It's really nice that they're doing this. And again, I don't necessarily think that it's Spectrum intentionally doing something. They have actually done quite a lot in the last couple of days just to help me Especially, and like they're telling me all this stuff they're working on and all the stuff they plan on doing. Apparently they're working on fiber optic in the area, although it could be a couple years before that's actually done. But hey, they're making an effort, which is more than I can say a lot of ISPs are willing to do. So I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt. Oh, there's a helicopter outside. That's cool. But yeah, I'm happy at the very least that they're doing that. I'm going to adjust, by the way, where my model sits. Oh no, did I accidentally put it in? I did. Put you there. There we go. Now I'm not covering chat. Isn't that awesome? I might need to reorder that. 479 down, 8 up. Why is the gap so huge? So your upstream is way... the thing is that your downstream is easier to do. Your upstream is harder. But your upstream is, again, what is super duper important if you're a streamer. I think I looked it up once. You need an average of 8 to 10 Mbps up in order to live stream. But yeah, it is a lot easier for you to get stuff downwind than for you to send it back up. It is not uncommon for your upstream to be slower than your downstream. But typically, if you are somebody that doesn't stream, if all you do is get on Discord and shoot the shit, or if you talk to people on Discord or play video games live, this isn't that big of an issue. You know, it is completely fine. But because I do what I do, I need at least 8 to 15 to live stream in the way I want. Because here's the thing that sucks. I'm not live streaming with the upstream that I want. I have intentionally downgraded my my kpps. It used to be at 4500, which is what YouTube wants for stable 1080p. Right now it's at 2500. We want nothing downwind. Fair enough. Fair enough. But I mean, like, it still looks like it's streaming in 1080p, but it needs to be at least 4500 for the good viewing. I definitely won't get 4K, I'll tell you that. But if it should be fine. All this to really just say, like, I've been dealing with the internet. I am reaching a point where I am not quite sure what's going to happen. I want to get back to streaming. You should do that. You should definitely do that. You should do that and start drawing what you stream, or stream what you draw. Thing downwind is like the smell of pizza. I see what you mean. But like, it is what it is. You know, I'm here for your voice. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I try. It still amazes me that people like how I sound. I mean, I appreciate it, but it is bizarre to me. Oh, excuse me. Anyway. But yeah, it is what it is. It works. And I'm happy. Okay? I'm happy that that people are coming out to fix it. Or do more. Because it's not fixed yet. Not yet. Like... But we're going to hold out hope. Oh, excuse me. We're going to hold out hope that they can come and fix it. And I do appreciate everybody's niceness and in helping. because it has been super duper stressful. Hello, hello. But we will continue. My inventory is full of fishing junk. Nice. We will continue, and I just believe that things will continue to improve. If not, you know, there's always options. I think the thing that some people forget is there's always options. There's always ways to improve what you do, and there is no such thing as rock bottom unless you choose for there to be a rock bottom. So I am going to operate under the idea that I can continue moving on. You know, if the internet doesn't improve, there's steps I can take, places I can go, things to do so that I can have it, you know, not be like that. You know, so that's no big deal to me. I am still working on content as well. I have some video ideas, things I'm going to work on in the background. Fishing is the best part of 14. Fishing is pretty fun. But yeah. Oh, thank you for sending me that info about movement. Hold on, I'm gonna take a look at that. You guys shouldn't be able to see this. Yep. Oh, excuse me. I don't know where this option is, but I'm going to take a look here. Movement config. Oh, there it is. Oh my gosh, that fixed it. Oh, fuck yeah. Oh, that makes things so much easier. Thank you, Dama. You saved the day. If you're looking for Starlink, I need to post a message in your server. I'll feel free to send it to me. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. Holy fuck. Look at that. I can... yes. I can, like, sit back now. I was so worried that I wouldn't be able to do that. You fixed it? I fixed the model, not the internet. Man, I wish that fixed the internet. Oh, fuck. That's kind of what's going on right now, you know? If this is the first time you've heard me talk about this ever, that's kind of like the deal. And so, we'll continue trucking on. There is no future... I will say this, there is zero future that I stop streaming. Or that I, like, stop doing what I'm doing. If the internet sucks, we'll move. We'll find somebody else. I know that there are options that I have. If my job doesn't work, I'll move. If things get harsh, I'll move. Or I'll fix something up. I will tell you right now, chat. I don't no plans on quitting streaming. Even if the internet sucks. Model's still spooky? Thank you. I will say, well... You ate my rice. I understand it's spooky, but if I ever get another model that's slightly less spooky and somewhat more cute and funny, I'll make sure to use that instead for people that are scared of this model. But yeah. That's it with the internet, basically. I had some interesting stuff to talk about, by the way. I'm pulling up some tabs for you, chat. This is, well, I want to talk about this more on Thursday. So if you want to hear this on the podcast on Thursday, then I don't mind if you decide to jump right now. But I want to talk about a couple things. We love to clown. Thank you. I appreciate it. I thought you chose the model because you like scaring us. No. I like the model. It's beautiful. Maybe a chibi model down the line? Maybe. Maybe. Spooky is not the word I would use. I'm struggling. Oh, I see it. Like I said, the box will be addressed today or tomorrow. Do I own a white van? No. I used to drive one when I worked for Amazon, though. Doro model. Closest you'll get to a Doro model. I can bring it in. The closest you'll get is this little thing. I'll put her right there. She's just kind of there. Mention Doro stream chugging. Yeah, something like that. We do have this thing. I can stick it over me. If that will make me less scary, I'll wear it for you. I can't imagine everybody will enjoy the Yippee as the model, but technically this counts as another model. Oh goodness. Oh, excuse me. Special thanks, by the way. Oh, excuse me. To Gwosty. Who is an artist who's drawn all of my Yippies. Not the dancing one. The dancing one was drawn by Ito Oni. But Gwosty drew the Yippee for me. She's drawn a couple people's Yippies actually. They draw a lot of just soft, cute stuff, and I like that. Ooh, excuse me. They draw a lot of silly, cute stuff. The Yippee will do. The Yippee is a centaur. Something like that. Yeah, we're gonna just put her up here. Oh. Here, I'm just gonna stick her there. She can kind of just stay there. She won't fall off though. Anyway, chat. While I do have your attention today, I will not be streaming tonight. Tonight I'm going to be watching stuff with Ava on her stream, on her special website. So we won't be talking. I won't be streaming tonight. Could stream tomorrow. We'll see. Gonna take a nap. You enjoy that nap. But I wanted to talk about two things. Ooh, excuse me. Two things that are important to me. And then after that, I'll probably just play some games and chill. I am going to, by the way, if the stream will not die until Ava goes live, I'll send you to Ava when she goes live. Because I know that she's streaming later today. Yeah, she's streaming in like an hour or two. So I'm gonna send you guys, if I can keep the stream alive long enough, I'm gonna send you guys to her. But I want to talk about two things, two topics of interest. They are interesting to me, and I like I said, we're gonna talk about them more on Friday. But I just wanted to give them to you now. Just kind of like on my side. Because if you don't watch the podcast, it's totally fair. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I need to open up my alerts because I forgot to do that. Excuse me. There we go. There we go. There's some stuff coming out on Sunday. I imagine so. Oh, Temp is very excited about Nightwife. Okay. Anyway, let's talk about V and U. I talked about this briefly when it all went down. Here, I'm gonna get rid. I'm gonna put the Yippee back, but I need to get rid of that other stuff here. I'm gonna put her. Just gonna put her up there. There. She's just kind of there. All right. So I've talked about V and U briefly already. I talked about it last week. But the shit. And while it's doing that, I'm just gonna keep looking up tabs here. Oh, it might actually die. If that's the case, it's whatever. I know that it's gonna get fixed, so it's not the end of the world. I'll wait for a moment. Okay. Okay, we're just gonna go now. Seems to be mostly stable now. Okay. So, chat, you might remember, the V and U stuff happened, or like begun, when Legal Mindset covered the leaks that were going on with it, where he revealed the graduations of all of these people on the stream. And a lot of people were upset with this. I guess. I don't really understand the upsetness personally, because I know why he did this. If you're curious, the reason why he did this is because V and U was potentially, allegedly, according to his next leak, defrauding investors. It's not that one. It is. There's another one. I need to find it. Give me one moment here. He has another picture here. Is it this one? Yes. So the first leak comes out. Everybody's crazed out and is upset. Then he shows a second leak with this right here. And I will go ahead and read this for you guys. Here's the crazy thing. Nobody read this. People that got shit fit mad at this, nobody brought this up, which is, in my personal opinion, the reason why all this is important. So, and again, this is a leak, and here's the thing that's really important. Your trust on whether or not this leak is real is whether or not this is real. And we already know this is real because all of the things that have been mentioned, all of the ones on the dates, have either happened or have been pushed back. But some of this stuff has already come true or came true soon after. So because this was real, you can now believe this. And that is the most important part. If this is real, this is definitely more likely to be real. So let's go through this. Hello, everyone. As you know, the company's decision on graduation announcements are being delayed because there's an issue that came up with the company's investors. The issue is that a potential investor had found out about a supposed leak about talents graduating from VNU. This is affecting the company's case for receiving this investment, so upper management has determined that they need to buy some time to let this blow over. The plan so far was to announce the graduation of 5 talents altogether before February 11th. The actual graduation streams would take place over the last week of February. However, because of the investors' newly found doubts about VNU, upper management is desperate to prevent those doubts from being confirmed, and the investors backing out of the investment this month. The talents who are graduating have been reached out to about postponing graduations by a month. I will keep you updated. So, Legal Mindset leaks this. And we don't know who he gets it from. I even asked him, like, in public. I was like, where'd you get this? Just kind of haphazardly, because I knew for a fact that he got this either from a talent or somebody within the company that was not confident in its Because of that, I knew that he was probably never going to tell me, which is fine, because of the bond line stuff with Mizu. But I was just curious to see, like, if he could give me some, like, general location. As he says here that he won't share it. And what did I say in reply? I said it's one of those. Yeah. So, like, because I thought he had, like, was sharing it from somewhere else. I thought, like, that it was already public, but no. Legal Mindset is the first guy to have this. But yeah, so everybody gets pissed off that he starts throwing this out. Why? Because it affects the talents. The talents are the ones that are put at risk because of this. And they don't get to announce when they're graduating. I'm being very facetious here, and I think that is bullshit, and I don't care. You're mutuals with because of Ava, so ask him in private. I'm not going to ask him in private, because I don't need to know, all right? Because I know this is real, and I know that it's a thing, so I don't need to know. You want to know why I don't need to know? Because the last time a talent from VNU had issues, they tried to charge them hundreds of thousands of dollars to leave the company. I could be misinterpreting some of those details, but from what I was told, that they, and this is, I believe, not I believe, it is public, like, they had issues with trying to leave. When it came to the Bond Live stuff, you know, when we talked about the Bond Live stuff and Mizu had all those people in his DMs, Mizu has never told me any of the people that came to him, and I would rather not know, because the less people that know who came out, the better. Mizu is really the only one that needs to know. The same with Andrew. Andrew is the only one that needs to know who came out to him. And I trust Andrew, like I trust Mizu, with that information. I believe that Andrew's credibility as a lawyer who has oftentimes been correct and oftentimes been sharing correct information and just in general is a good person, I trust his credibility. So I don't need to know who this came from. You know? I just trust it on that principle. And because I trust this on principle, I trust this on principle. I trust this on principle if it is real. Which, again, is very damning for the company. If this is all real and they do actually, like, a lot of them are postponing their stuff or attempting to, that's pretty damning. Because it sounds like they're trying to keep investors from pulling out when investors should rightly pull out. Here, let me give you like a brief lesson, by the way, in how this stuff works, because some people may not understand how investor shit works, how venture capital, all that stuff works. So I'll give you guys a very brief understanding of it. So when you have a company that you would like to either go further with, or you need money because it's going downturn, or you just in general you want to continue just in general with growth or whatever, you seek out investors that are willing to put money into your company. And in order for investors to feel confident in the product that they are investing in, you have to show success. With VTuber agencies, there's a couple, I assume that there's a couple of different ways that companies do it. I really don't know all of the ways that they measure it, but I would imagine that the biggest ways that they measure it are having happy, successful talents that make them a lot of money. And so if you can say, look at all of these people that we have working for us that make us a lot of money, investors will probably feel a little bit more confident about giving you money and investing into your company. I assume that there's a couple chances it's just dead. No, it's not dead. Chances it's just dead. No, it's not dead. It's not dead. Although it is struggling a lot. I might need to end it here. It is struggling a lot. We'll keep it quick here. That was a bad one. Yeah, it was a bad one. Yeah, like I said, they better fix it later. Anyway, we'll continue here. I'll probably only keep it to one topic if it's this bad. But anyway, long story short, investors probably aren't going to feel very confident in your company if you have a bunch of talents that are leaving your company, which is what your company is supposed to be. And so with these leaks getting out, it doesn't look good for the company. However, the thing that is kind of crazy is a lot of people weren't focusing on that. They were focusing on the fact that Legal Mindset leaked the graduation stream, and a lot of people were upset with that. And if you want my opinion, really quickly here, my opinion is I don't give a fuck about the people that are leaving a black company. If you're leaving a black company, great. I hope that you move on and that things are better for you. I don't care about you. I care about the truth, okay? This is something that's like very bewildering to me. But a lot of news VTubers, and I hope I get to just talk about this in general before the internet dies. But a lot of news commentators on the VTubing side have this weird perception of what to cover and what not to cover because they don't want to hurt the feelings of people. That they only cover things that will be nice and clean for the VTubers that they are covering. I just don't care. Because if your company is facing potential, again, allegedly, if your company is allegedly facing some form of fraud, you should be fucking upset that your company is lying to other people because that could put you out of a job. So I think that you should be more concerned with the fact that your company is fucking you over by lying to investors than the fact that your graduation was ruined. I think that's clown behavior. That's clown behavior, all right? But you know, there was a couple people, there was a couple VTubers even that were upset by Legal Mindset leaking this. But Legal Mindset wasn't the only one to catch strays. He was the first one to catch strays. Rima Evenstar, friend of the channel, big friend of mine, at least on the internet. And she decided to do a stream talking about the VNU stuff. She decided to cover one of the talents who had a stream talking about it, and it went down. Unfortunately, Rima's stream ended up going down because she watched the Jubilee video, which, that's fucking great. Not Rima's fault, but, like, I think it's great that Jubilee does that. Not really. And people start criticizing her for the coverage, including some of the VNU talents. One of them, do I have the tweet on me? My apologies. I should have looked it up. One of them giving an actual death threat, saying that we need to, in Minecraft, well, she didn't mean in Minecraft, but like for YouTube's sake, she said that people need to be drawn and quartered, referring to drama tubers. Okay. This was a deleted tweet. They did end up deleting it. Not after a shit ton of people decided to grab screenshots of the tweet. But by that point, all of the sympathy that would come to any of these talents had eroded to zero. The moment that this creator that is part of a corporation, that they are the face of the corporation, the moment that you have a talent that does that, you have lost all sympathy from me and from a lot of people that matter. All right. So after they did that, and a couple of people backed her up, because I believe at least one of the VNU talents kind of backed her up on that. All sympathy was gone, was eroded immediately. Nobody loved them anymore. Not only did a lot of people hate them for that, a bunch of other streamers, including False ID and Parrot, decided to come out and make comments that further inflamed the anger. Rightfully so. I do believe that Parrot's tweet was very inflammatory, and I probably wouldn't word it that way. But all of the people that came out and were inflammatory were friends of Rima. So I can understand why they would make those comments. Doesn't make them right, but I would understand it. But that fanned the flames and made more people upset. So we've reached the point where a lot of people are upset because one of the talents in this organization is wishing for the death of people, and at least one other one is okay with it. But it does not stop there, chat. It does not stop there whatsoever. a news VTuber by the name of Penumbral, who I vaguely know because he covers news on YouTube. I didn't really know the extent of his coverage, because when I see news VTubers, they fit into two categories. They are news VTubers that hate me and news VTubers that are neutral to me / like me. And Penumbral, up until this point, was a neutral person to me. And he was somebody that decided to come out and give comments on it. He kind of was quiet about it for a while, but he came out and decided to give his comments. And what did he say? That Legal Mindset sucked for having his stuff out there, that he ruined all of the graduations of all those VTubers, and that Legal Mindset is just a stupid person. And then he also said that what Rima did sucked, but he doesn't hate her that much. He just hates that she did it. He dances around it, but he also says that he dislikes the death threat. Although he has to go really hard to not call it a death threat. At first he was like saying it wasn't a death threat, but he kind of like warmed up to saying, "Oh, I guess it was a death threat." And it's like, we're not gonna dance around this. What the talent said was a death threat. All right, asking for drawn and here. I'm gonna show this to you, chat. I will Google for this for you in real time, and show it to you. All right, I'll zoom in for you here so that you can get a nice look. All right, this is drawn and quartered. All right, so that there is absolutely zero distinction for what it means. A convicted traitor was fastened to a hurdle or a wooden panel and drawn behind a horse to a place of execution, where he was then hanged almost to the point of death, emasculated, disemboweled, beheaded, and quartered. Okay, this is what that VTuber, even in a joking manner, was talking about. Fun fact, I didn't actually know that a horse was involved until I looked it up the first time. But I did know that drawn and quartered was a very disgusting and excruciating form of torture that you only give to the worst of the worst people in society. And that's what these people are asking for. These people are saying that Rima, or at the very least, Legal Mindset, they didn't exactly specify, should be drawn and quartered. And that's disgusting. And I don't understand why Penumbral couldn't just come out and say that it was an absolute disgusting thing that happened and that he absolutely dislikes that the Thailanders did that. He said that it was abhorrent and that he didn't like it, but then he also spent multiple paragraphs and sentences talking about how much he disliked what Rima did. And then he also said, I dislike this, but... And it's just like, he ruined all credibility that he could have given himself by deciding to do what he did, which was have a live stream. He ended up having a live stream, and I'm not going to pull it up because it's 2 hours. And a couple of people have covered it. Again, we might cover it on Thursday. I have no idea. Mizu also covered it on his channel where he reacted to the entire thing. But yeah, I'm not going to pull it up, especially since, again, the internet is the internet. That's because he's not bothered by it. No, I know he's not bothered by it. I know Penumbral's not bothered by it because he refuses to admit it and talk about it. And that's what bothers me. That's what bothers me. But, chat, I do believe that there is a somewhat happy ending coming up here. So we'll go through the timeline here and we can talk about this. Okay? So he has this live stream where the first hour and like 20 minutes are focused on Rima and VNU. What's funny is this whole stream is like 90% VNU and then 10% Niji Sanji. And yet he still puts Niji Sanji in here as well. I think that's kind of funny. A good portion of the way through this stream... Now, here's the funny thing. I knew that this stream was going to happen because, again, I follow this guy on Twitter. I am still going to follow this guy on Twitter until he either blocks me because of how mean I am, according to some people, or until he decides to just quit what he's doing altogether. But we'll get into that. So I saw that he was going to make a live stream on this, and I was like, oh, that's interesting. And that was after I had seen these messages here where he had said how upset he was with Legal Mindset. So I had already seen these messages, and I was already like, okay, this man is going to come out swinging against Rima and Legal Mindset and anybody else that he dislikes surrounding this situation. So I was planning to sit in and listen to this. And I also told Mizu that this stream was going to happen too, because I was like, hey, you're talking about VNU, because Mizu was planning to talk about the VNU stuff. He was going to go through the leaks, and I was like, hey, Mizu, this guy's going to talk about it. You should listen to it. Maybe he'll add some more stuff that you can talk about. And the stream goes live, and it is an absolute disaster. About 30 minutes into the stream, Mizu walks in and completely one-guys this man to the point of death, basically. Not actual death, but, like, he one-guys him pretty hard. Basically, challenging his arguments and, just, like, utterly mogging this. Well, not mogging, excuse me, that's not the right word. He comes in and basically debates this man in the comments, and this man folds all over. He cannot defend himself. He does not have an argument. He just ends up giving up and saying he does not want to talk about it anymore because Mizu is in there. And he doesn't admit it, but I do believe that if Mizu wasn't in there, this man would have talked about VNU for 3 fucking hours. I believe that. Okay? So, you know, he talks about it. He fights with Mizu. Mizu fights with him, and Mizu wins, and then walks out. So that happens. After that stream, here, I'm gonna go back here. After that stream, he wakes up the next day and says this. Not gonna argue. Twitter arguments never go anywhere and just make people mad. I disagree. I think that he would totally argue with people if he was confident in his stuff and he knew he was right. But I think he knows he's wrong. I think he knows he's wrong, but he doesn't care. I know he doesn't care because he will not apologize. Because if Penumbral was sincere about himself, he would come out and apologize for what he did. And the thing that bothers me is I've asked a couple of people about this man, all right? Because I have not watched any of his stuff. I have seen a couple of his shorts. Apparently, like, this man has gotten really good. Yeah, look at it. Some of his shorts here are massive. He gets a lot of attention on his shorts. And I do believe that's where all of his followers come. I believe a lot of his followers come from him doing his shorts, doing all of his news coverage on these shorts here. So I believe this is where his attention comes from. Okay? So I've heard again that he's gotten a lot of attention for that. But his live streaming is shit. At least from what I've seen. So, and I just know that if he actually had a bone to stand or leg to stand on, he would, but he doesn't. He says that he's not going to talk about it. And everybody in the comments starts mogging the fuck out of him. Not only does that happen, here, let me show this here. I don't know how long I'm going to have to scroll. It's all on Legal Mindset's channel. Okay. So, not only does he get mogged, Mizu makes a tweet talking about this, and then Legal Mindset replies with the DMs that Penumbral had sent to him. There's a detail that I was gonna wait to mention, but during this stream, Penumbral mentions that he messages Legal Mindset to ask about where the sources of these leaks had come from, and Legal Mindset says he's not going to say who because he doesn't want to put the talents at risk of being sued. What's funny is when this live stream went live, I don't think he showed these actually. He only talked about this first message here. He did not mention why Legal Mindset refused to give up the source. He only mentioned that he had messaged Legal Mindset for this information, which is pretty damn scummy in my personal opinion. Pretty damn scummy. And what's funny is I know for a fact that he could have shown that because those took place on the 14th and this took place 2 days ago on the 16th. So this man omitted Legal Mindset saying, I am protecting a VNU person from being sued. That is fucking malicious as hell. But, you know, yeah. So Legal Mindset, responding to Mizu, says, this time he was in my DMs begging for information and dumb enough to think I would tell him what talent leaked it as if we all forgot what happened to Seraphy. I guess this is the clout attention he wanted. So, man just lost. Not only did he lose his credibility by doing this live stream or by doing these tweets where he was complaining, this man literally just got headshot by Legal Mindset saying, bro's a clout chaser. Here's proof. That's another thing we're going to talk about later. So, bro's an idiot. An absolute fucking idiot. And by the way, before anybody asks or is wondering, because I did see, what's funny is I saw Bint complain about the fact that Legal Mindset shared his DMs. I will maintain, and I do not believe that this deviates at all, that my stance on DMs being leaked is there are two reasons why you will ever share them. Somebody's lying about you, which I do believe Penumbra was being, at the very least, disingenuous about his conversation with Legal Mindset, because if he was genuine, he would have shown this part right here. Or at the very least, he would have shown the conversation. I don't again, I was working when I listened to his stream, and if he showed this message, I didn't see it. But he at the very least talked about it or mentioned this whole thing. He did not mention this whatsoever. So Legal Mindset was well within his rights to prove that Penumbra was lying or was being disingenuous about him. So that is the occasion where I am okay with people showing DMs, and that is to prove when there are people that is lying. When did this happen? When did what happen? I don't think he's an idiot. He's a bootlicker. No, he's both. At the very least, he's both. I think he's stupid for not thinking that a lawyer with multiple years of law experience wouldn't clap back and say, you're a fucking idiot. I don't think he's actually said that out loud. I'm not going to infer what Legal Mindset has actually said. I'm going to assume that Legal Mindset will be nice in public and in private to this guy, even though he fucking lied about him. But like, Legal Mindset is well within his rights to show this message and say, you are just an idiot. Bint, opinion discarded? Yes. If Bint says anything, you just do the opposite of it. Do what I say, not what Bint says. Excuse me. So yeah, Legal Mindset utterly excuse me, I'm reusing words a lot. The autism loop is happening. Legal Mindset blows him out of the water. And what do you think happens after that, chat? I found this out last night, before anime night with Mizu. But apparently, and this was 23 hours ago, so this was yesterday at 1 p.m. Uh-oh. Here, I'm going to zoom in on this and read it for you, especially for my podcast listeners here. This is from Penumbral on his YouTube community feed 23 hours ago. Quote, no schedule for the rest of the week, this guys. The recent drama has hit me a lot harder than I thought it would and kind of made me realize I don't think I'm cut out for this whole NewsTuber thing. I'm going to take a week off to think about stuff. I'll stream when I feel up to it on Twitch, and chances are there'll be a Sunday stream, but it might end up being the last one. I'm not sure yet. I'll keep you guys updated. Cheers. This man is going to quit news streaming. Mizu, I joke with Mizu about this. I don't think it was just him. Okay? Alright? Mizu made this man quit. And I'm sure that there's other people that contributed to it. But this man was flamed so hard by other people that know way more than him that he's going to quit. And I think there's a high likelihood that this man is just going to stop because he doesn't know what he's doing. Same. So you have to assume your favorite color is purple? Yes. Baby man? Damn. Damn. What's funny is there are people in the comments, and obviously, you know, when you have a community, they're going to come in and support you. A lot of the community is saying that he's right and everybody else is wrong. You know, go off, King, if that's your thing. There's a statement in the live stream that he taught. There's a statement comment in the live stream that he talked to Rainbow personally. Okay, I'm gonna... excuse me. I am gonna look at that then. Is it in this one? No. Let me see. Oh, here we go. I don't think that this comment will help him very much. I will read it, but I doubt this will help. This was also 23 hours ago, so I don't know if this came before or after he said he's going to quit. Thank you for sending me this. I'm probably going to send this to Andrew as well. I've spoken to Rima following the stream and have some clarification about things. Mainly at the time of the stream, I was unaware of the existence of the Twitch VOD, so my knowledge Rima's stream came off from the people that were there. Yeah, that's another thing I forgot to mention. This motherfucker did not even watch Rima's live stream. All right? Didn't even watch it. He just inferred about what she talked about in her stream and went off of what other people said. So this man could have been lied to by people that don't like Rima, and he would have taken it at face value. I don't know who told him, but he got things so incredibly wrong that I could believe that people were being malicious towards her. One of those people mistakenly told me she was living streaming Psy on stream. That never happened. It was wrong, and it's 100% on me for not finding a way to personally verify it. Yeah, fucking reach out to the woman before you stream. You reached out at the very least to Legal Mindset. Why couldn't you say, hey, Rima, I know you're really busy and that you got stuff coming up, but can you verify a couple things for me before I talk about this? Guess what, chat? You know how I talk to Rima? I message her sometimes, and I say, hey, can you clarify this for me? Or can you talk about this for me? Because I had a question. And she's very busy, way busier than I ever hoped to be. But she makes time. And especially when it has something to do with her and you want to talk about it, I'm sure that she'll tell you, Pen. I'm sure she'll tell you. In a stream where I talk about due diligence, a fuck up of this level is unacceptable and would only further the hate being sent Rima's way. Yeah. I've apologized to her personally and I'm apologizing here to you guys for messing this situation up more and not living up to my own standards. You should apologize. Stream will stay up. I don't want to hide my mistakes, and I do stand by what I said for a lot of the rest of the stream. There's an insane amount of harassment and death threats flying around, which I believe are wrong, by the way. I saw death. Actually, I haven't seen death. Okay. If there are death threats going to the VNU people, I disavow them. I think those are wrong, and you're not welcome in my community if you do those, okay? But I have not seen them, and I would like to see them before I actively start banning people from my community. Just because I like the proof. We're not a Me Too people here, okay? I know Rima's dealing with some absurdly abusive stuff, and I've got my fair share of shit over this situation. Some of it is very much deserved. I'd like to encourage people to be respectful to both Rima and the talents involved right now, and maybe let the situation cool off a bit. And here's what I'm going to say. In regards to the talents, chat, in regards to the talents, there's only so much respect I'm willing to give some of these people, all right? Some of these talents have shown very clearly that they do not know how to use the internet. They are either mentally deficient. Sorry, I don't know if I can say that. They are mentally unstable, and they should have their internet privileges taken away. At the very least, the girl who made the death threat against Rima should not be a VTuber. She should not be on the internet. She should be on Facebook with her rest of her family, and that's it. Because that is all she can probably handle. Okay? The VTubers that hopped onto that and were cheering on that those death threats also should not be on the internet because they are also sick individuals. All right? You should not be sending death threats to people. Period. You can say in Minecraft jokes when it's on point, but like beyond all that, these people should not be on the internet. Not suited for public figures? Yes. Beyond all that, some of these people just fucking suck. I'm realizing this more and more, and I'm working on either a video or a something where I talk about this. There are people on the internet that just fucking suck. All right? I think a good example recently that somebody, I already read it, but somebody sent me another link for it. But there is... Nope, that was the wrong thing. There is... There was a situation where it was like, what was it? MizuhanaOshibe, I want to say. Thank you for the $1. I appreciate it. MizuhanaOshibe was one of the guys that was going after gambling on Twitch. And because of, he did not like streaming. Actually, wait, I'll just find... I remember quote tweeting this. Hold on. Pixel, thank you for becoming a member. I appreciate that. For 21 months. I think you're one of the longest standing ones. Yeah, it is MizuhanaOshibe. Okay. So, it was revealed that MizuhanaOshibe was going to get a gambling deal right before all of the anti-gambling stuff that he participated in on Twitch happened. He didn't get the money he wanted, so some people speculate that he went anti-gambling because they didn't give him the money he wanted. If that's true, that is fucking disgusting. Absolutely fucking brutally horrible. He didn't like Trainwreck? No, he didn't get the money. Here, I'll show you. I'll show you the thing here. Take this with a grain of salt. I believe it though, because all of these people here suck. This individual here is he's from it looks like a gambling website. Yeah, he's from a gambling website called Gamdom. Cool. And this is a couple of years after the fact. This was back in 2022 when chat, by the way, back in 2022 when gambling was banned off of Twitch and Kick came around because of that. I think we can thank MizKiff for bringing about Kick, by the way. So this individual says, I will never share confidential convos, but right before the entire anti-gambling protest was happening, MizKiff was trying to close a Gamba deal. He didn't like the money that was offered, so he got super salty and started teaming up with other creators to aggressively call Twitch to ban Gamba. Once again, people will almost always show up their fake values, especially if they're envious and feel like they're missing out. So right here, it shows the DMs where MizKiff was asking for a contact with Gamedom, and allegedly there was a deal that he did not like the price of, and so because of that, he jumped on the train for it. And all this does is further proof to me, chat, that content creators that are really high up there suck. All right? I'm sorry, but like, there are very few creators that are over a couple million subs that are actually good people. The rest of them just suck. Wasn't MizKiff the one that covered up for SA? I know that there's a whole thing around that. I don't remember, so I'm not going to say. I would need to actually pull up some stuff and research that, but I don't really care about that right now. Doesn't really matter. But like, MizKiff sucks, along with a lot of the other big YouTube creators. All right, there's a lot of YouTube creators that are okay, but I just don't like them in general, and I think most of them just suck, period. And that's just because they are not good people. They have somehow, some way, sucked the dick of some internet devil that has given them the ability to make money on the internet, and now they are in a high place of prominence where values and morals don't matter to them. And while I don't necessarily care about a lot of morals and values, there are some basic things that I think are important for you to survive as an individual in the world, and that is to not be a fucking asshole. Didn't really care for OTK. I don't know. But yeah, I don't like this guy. I don't like a lot of these guys. I would never, ever, ever want to do business with any of these people. They suck. All of them suck. And if you try and mix around with them, you will end up sucking too. And I'm not going to use that as like a forum to go after people. But I will say, chat, if you see people trying to interact with these guys, pay extra attention to them. Because they all suck. The only ones that are good are more or less off content creating, Pews, JonTron. Well, those two got out before. Those two were canceled before they actually like got up there. Although I do believe that they are genuine people. I do believe that PewDiePie, JonTron. I'll be honest, I'd have to think about it because I can't really think of anybody else. But those are some good people. You know? Those are some good people. Otherwise, you know, they all suck. Okay? We'll say, for the moment, that the ones that we like are okay. I have my worries and doubts about HoloLive, but until HoloLive actually like starts burning to the ground, we'll say that it's okay. Okay? But all corpos I'm finding, doesn't matter how much goodwill they have, they all just start sucking. And I don't know what the timetable is for even the good ones before the good ones start suffering. But I worry that even the good ones are going to start getting shit up. And it makes me glad that I'm not in like a quote-unquote corpo. Like, you know, Lucky Entertainment is a group, kind of a corpo. I treat it like a corpo sometimes. Just kind of because I like to live the dream of it. But like, I would never want to be in one. I never would want to be in a HoloLive, or any of them. It's called going public. Yeah, I do believe that's part of it. Yeah, that is part of it. Private equity is poison. It's really sad because, like, yeah, that unfortunately, in order to get big, you do kind of have to take some blood money. And maybe, I don't know if there's any other way to do it. But it's just really sad because eventually all good things just get shit up by other people and their money, thinking that they know better than you do. And every single time, it falls apart. Every single time. Like, there is not one time that it has not happened. It's really crazy. I think you need to look at the Texas bill. I've already looked at the Texas bill. We talked about it on stream the other day. I think a lot of people are overhyping the Texas bill and how bad it is. I think a lot of people need to understand that obscenity laws are something that already exists. And again, I have a live stream where we talked about it. It was the one where we talk about legal mindset. Where me and her, an actual lawyer, talk about it. So I think people are misrepresenting it and getting way too afraid over it. So I wouldn't. Here's what I would say. A lot of the language in the bill, according to Ava, comes from the Protect Act. And if that's the case, it will get shot down if somebody does get prosecuted, because bills like that are against the Constitution. Texas has a different definition. It'll still get struck down. It's against the Constitution. It is blatantly against the Constitution, some of the things that are in there. Obviously, AI generated stuff is different, but some of the other stuff will get struck down for freedom of speech. And so I don't think that people need to worry that much. First, somebody actually needs to get convicted of having lolicon on their computer. If that happens, you are going to have freedom of speech lawyers that come out and defend you. Just saying, that will happen if it happens. All right, because obscenity laws already exist in the U.S. All right, there are a couple of states that already have obscenity laws, and every time there is an issue, freedom of speech. I looked at the penal code. They have exceptions specifically identifiable minors. Yeah, my assumption is going to be that they are only going to go after people that have specifically had artwork that does depict real people. So I understand that people are worried, but people are also being very fucking retarded about how they want to express their worry. You want to know how stupid people are expressing their worry? All right, like literally, I look at this and say, man, you make a lot of people side-eye you. And not you specifically, random chatter. I'm just talking in general. I have seen some lolicons get so uppity, it makes me look at them and go, fucking hell, you sound like a fucking retard right now. Like, people think that it's the end of anime in Texas, and I'm just like, it's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. All right? It's going to get struck down by a higher court or the Supreme Court when somebody goes to jail for something stupid, or you're just never gonna see it. It's just not gonna happen. It seemed to be a rehash of the Protect Act. Unfortunately, far too vague. Again, it will get corrected because freedom of speech, and people are going to be stupid if they if Republicans try to fight that. They are fucking retarded. But you know what? That's why I don't align myself with any political party. I think both of them are dumb. It probably won't be used for anime, like, based on the video Rev made about it. I haven't seen Rev's video. Personally. But I just think that people are way too freaked out. Way too freaked out. And, you shouldn't, because it makes you look bad. It makes people look at you funky and say, why are you advocating for a law about, AI CP, which can be construed as real CP because it uses real children, which is wrong. Why are you going against that? And it's just like, you got to be very careful about how you argue, because otherwise people are just going to look at you and call you a predator. And I know some of the people that are upset are not. So be careful. People already hate you for liking one thing. It's just gonna make things harder if you keep going hard. I don't know. I don't really want to walk in a circle about that, but like, people are just dumb. Again, none of you are dumb. I'm just talking in general. Rev and Bandman made good videos on it. Again, I haven't watched either of those. I've just read the law, and I've talked to 2 real lawyers. Not internet lawyers. 2 real lawyers. And they gave me the answers that I knew were more in line. Anime fans are jaded. I understand that. But you guys... Again, not you in general. But, like, people need to chill. Because... saying it's embarrassing is also retarded. It's just dumb to look at. That's it. I don't got that much else to opine on. Anyway, the big thing is the pedo crusade. It's hard to advocate for free speech when anyone can say, "Hey, you're a pedo," and shut you down, I guess. It's not worth getting upset over. Yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty upset with how everything is a pedophile these days. It's kind of sad. It is definitely the way that everything is going, and it's upset because I worry that could lead to legitimate restrictions of freedom of speech. Not this, but legitimate ones. Is that hair? Yes. Yes, it is. Oh, excuse me. So yeah, I do worry that something like that could happen, but I think that we just need to push back still. Just not be retarded about it. Just don't be retarded about it and you're fine. Yeah, I don't know. We got about 15 more minutes before Ava told me she'll be going live, so... Give me a moment. Has her stream been set up yet? Oh, excuse me. While we wait, I do want to talk about one other thing. Just don't be a creep and you'll be okay. Being a creep is subjective to people. I am technically a creep according to some people because of my model. Being a VTuber makes you a creep to some people. So, it's a little subjective, but, you know, it's whatever. Oh, excuse me. I had one other thing that I was interested in talking about today. And that is somebody making a thread about content creation again. And Mizu commented on it, and I'm going to give my comment on it too. I'm going to talk about Ethan Klein. Has he done anything recently worth talking about? I know he's going to release some Bad Empanada's Discord leaks. And when he does that, I'll probably, if my internet hasn't shat the bed yet, I'm going to talk about that. But beyond all that, I don't know. I have really no idea what he's done recently. Oh, excuse me. I know that Hassan can't stop talking about Asmongold. Anyway, we'll talk about this real quickly here. This content creator here, I am not going to pull up their page because I don't know if there's any porn on it anywhere. Content creator, they are a Twitch partner and a Throne partner, and they are partnered with Advanced GG, so they are a decently sized creator, quote unquote, decently sized creator. They decided to make a thread about content creation, and they actually drew up this whole thing here. Whoa. They did the Jason Thorhall drawing something for you. So we're going to go through this and read it, and I'll give my opinions on it, because I have opinions that I feel like are probably a little bit more in line with actually how it goes to creating content. It's because you didn't talk about him last stream. You mentioned him. That's why I asked. Oh, well, in my stream with Liga, where we talk about Legal, I talk about him. So that's where that update went. Anyway, let's go through this here. I'm going to... There we go. So this is Maya. They are a ghost shark saying, quote, content creation / streaming is all about luck and connections, unquote, quote, I've tried streaming for years but never got lucky, unquote, stop. Every once in a while when I open MS Paint during a stream, it's my favorite software and this is one of my best works yet. Keep going back, ma'am. You got a while to go. We call it the pillars of content creation or the pillars of men graphic. Yes, it's a JoJo reference. While luck and connections can give you a boost and can be very helpful, they are not needed to keep the roof of your brand stable. I disagree with that a little bit there. Yes, the more pillars you have, the bigger it is chance to make it, though I would argue that the good branding, quality content, and consistency is way more important. Imagine a big creator raids you and gives you a lucky chance. You need to now create content and be entertaining to keep the people interested. You are boring, sorry for being blunt, or not consistent enough. That chance they gave you won't do shit for you. I do agree with that because when Jason Thorhall, again, Pirate Software, was first starting out, he was rated by big people because he wasn't interesting. Not a lot of people watched him. So he did have to like level up his stuff, basically. There are many nuances to it. Okay, I hate this person's comedy. For example, luckily hitting the algo randomly versus knowing what the algo of a specific website loves. Finding a well-working niche you are comfortable in without locking yourself into one single content type and feeling trapped. Not exactly needing super expensive assets as long as the content is good and you are entertaining. Hey, nice new look. Thank you. Appreciate that. The more boxes you check, the higher chance is that someone will stumble upon you. Stonks. I'm not saying that a little bit of luck or connections won't help. I'm just saying that you should take your success into your own hands and take control over your content and not mentally checked out because other people have connections or others are more lucky. Let me go back to being silly. So this is their pillars of success. And I will say, chat here, that my belief when it comes to content creation these days is it differs from site to site. If you're on Twitch, it is definitely a lot of luck because there is no algorithm, none whatsoever. It is luck and connections on Twitch. If you're on Twitch, it is luck and connections. Or you can do the soft grinding method of going into a niche that is very little and has not a lot of active streamers and pumping that up and then going up and up and up on the categories until you find something that you can sustain yourself off of. That's something I thought about doing for a while. I just decided I didn't really care to do it forever. So I didn't. But when it comes to YouTube, there is a very good and very nice put together algorithm that, in my personal opinion, minus the censorship, does everything pretty well. The way that the algorithm works is when you put things in the right boxes, it will show to the right people. It's not so much about subscriptions anymore as it is about watch habits, watch time, and what you put together for people that the algorithm could put together. Because, fun fact, your watch habits actually lead to YouTube recommend it probably. There it goes. So, I don't believe that that luck and the algorithm should be fit in the same box because The algorithm isn't luck. The algorithm is knowledge. And even though I don't really like Mr. Beast anymore, he is still the guy that has captured the YouTube algorithm the most. So if you want to know how to do it, just study him, because that's what YouTube loves. At least that's what they love for now. Good branding. This is important. And I would say that you need to have good branding or quality, but it is not necessarily important to have the best of the best. You know, I didn't start out with the best of the best. And even though, like, you know, I'm slowly growing on what I have now with my brand, you don't need to have the best of the best. You don't need to have a big, expensive model. Although, fun fact, this model was like less than $700, which for the quality is really nice. You don't need to have the best of the best. You can start out small. And a lot of people grow massively without that. Like Ava, for example, the elf, she doesn't even have a live 2D model. She uses her own assets that she had drawn for her, and she was very inventive about it. Now, it does require some smarts that some people will obviously not have, but you don't need to have all of the expensive shit in order to actually start working and making a decent start for yourself. But that also goes into content quality as well. Like, it is nice to have the best quality, but it is not overly required. If you are interesting, quality is nice to have, but I think a lot of people will still enjoy you. Quantity. This is important. To have a decent amount of content for you is important. But I don't think it is overly important for you to have a lot of content or quantity in order to like blow up. It's just helpful. Air wiggles for the win? Yes. And then connections and partnerships and friends. This is a way of growing faster. I will not say that connections will be the hands down way of growth. It definitely helps a lot of the people that are really big right now, they definitely had connections, partnerships, and friends. But it is not required for you to be a star. There's a lot of people that have grown that didn't need that in order to grow massively. Or they got it after they already were like on a growth spurt